Hello there.
I'm Robert.
I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Travis.
And we are late to the party, and we have finally reached the end of our remakes before they were remakes.
I enjoyed that.
It
Me
was
too.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Angels in the Outfield.
I know,
That one
right?
is probably the most surprising one out of all of them for me.
I thought Overboard was kind of surprising.
You know what? It
No.
was obviously surprising for me because I didn't realize that trailer was out at the time when we filmed it. So either way, though, we are pressing forward into the next line, next era, next regime, next...
Well, these next few episodes...
Right. Next wave.
The next wave are user submitted. It's user requests.
Ooh.
Subscriber requests.
You guys. What do you have in store for us, you guys? And what do they have in store for us, Travis?
Well, this first one is from Trinidad Botello.
Okay.
This
You
is
see Trinidad pop up quite a bit. All right.
Yeah?
Excellent.
All right, party
Excellent.
on. This is from a movie from 1989.
Good year.
It is a good year.
It is a good year.
I wasn't.
The star of this movie actually, well, the journey of this particular film started way back in the 70s, and they worked their way up to making it in the 89.
Okay.
Went through many writers, directors, producers, distributors.
Sounds like a DC film.
Maybe. They had a lot of actually leading actors that could have possibly starred as the lead role.
Okay.
Being Mel Gibson, Kevin Costner, Charlie Sheen, Tom Selleck. The director actually approached Pierce Brosnan
Way back then?
to be it, but
Interesting.
they were looking for an interesting thing. They were looking for an unknown at the time, and one of the big unknowns that popped up was Ray Liotta.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, around that time, none of those guys were pretty much doing anything noteworthy
weird.
other than, like, Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, I was going to say it's weird to think now because they're all
Right.
Big time.
big time.
But Ray Liotta declined this, and I think he regretted it ever since.
I would assume. And you said Tom Selleck in there. We've seen that already happen once. So this is
Dr.
like
Jones.
This is like a twofer with him.
Yeah, but
They
with
didn't
that
choose
one,
him.
it was because he was already pinned for Magnum PI.
I don't remember how
Well,
that
for
worked out.
for
Right,
Indiana Jones.
for-
Yeah.
CBS contract stopped that. But
Okay.
let's press forward with this 1989 classic, shall we?
Let's do it. Well, Warner Brothers.
And 1989.
Yeah.
My
DC.
Keaton. My Keaton.
They have the
Look at
music
that
ready.
smug look. So smug.
Vicky Vale.
Bruce Wayne.
And what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
Being a millionaire.
No music, just sound effects. Yeah.
Lieutenant, is there a sixth
Alexander Knox.
Gotham City?
Nice outfit.
I love Knox. When I was a kid, I always thought it was Alfred driving.
I'll give
You
it
look
the,
fine.
I'll give it the
I
action.
didn't ask. Yeah. Yeah, Batman doesn't kill people, right?
I have given a name
To my pain.
What are you? I'm Batman.
I was gonna do some.
Get those
Wonderful toys.
My life is really
Complex.
freak terrorizes.
Where do they get
Really get rid of me.
Jack Nicholson, eh? My pinky.
Bam, bam, bam. Oh man, I remember. Okay, I'm going back to my first Dance with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight, and it was we were at the Deanza Drive-In locally here in Tucson, Arizona. It was like one of only 2 drive-ins at the time, but it was a more popular one. And we went, and I remember as a kid, like Batman was Batman. Batman was an icon, but the only thing we ever saw at the time, as I was like 7? I don't remember.
You were 7.
6.
6.
I was 6. Look, maths. Thank you, fingers. I was 6, and I just remember, like, I wasn't into the comics. I didn't know what was going on at the time. I really just knew Batman from Adam West, and we went to the drive-in, and I just remember I was just, like watching this movie, and I was like, I have to have all the toys, I have to have every figure, I have to have everything Batman. I had a Batman hat, I believe, like the clothes. Like, I was just in it to win it when I first saw this
Yeah,
film.
we still have a lot of those figurines.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you just said that your only experience was Adam West Batman.
Right.
Before this, I think that's the majority of everyone out there.
From the public,
So-
general public, yeah.
Not for me.
Based off this trailer, would you guys have seen this movie?
Yes,
I did.
I would.
I did. And it's funny because I remember the trailer back then.
See, it's different for you guys because I'm going to show my age right now. I wasn't even born when this movie came out anyways. So you guys were, and so you guys probably remember watching this when you guys were at that age, the
Right.
kids. Me watching this now, and being like, if I were to go back and think about me being that age, I would say yes, I would have wanted to see this movie because it was Batman.
Interesting. I don't know. Based off this trailer, I don't know. I mean, I love Batman and I love this movie, but the trailer itself was very different, very slow. There wasn't music in every scene. It wasn't like boom, 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 capture your attention. It was, this is a new type of Batman and here's why and what's going on.
The reason I would have watched it is because it wasn't like every trailer. In a world shrouded in darkness, there is a villain rising. Like, there's none of that. It's
Right.
just the
It's
movie
very
itself. To me, that's what, again, not liking the. I liked voiceover, but to me, it was just too on the nose. This isn't on the nose. What it could have used was that music, though, because the score. But at the same time,
Daniel.
you get it at bookended. You get Danny Elfman's score bookended on each end. And to this day is the iconic theme for Batman, to the point where he even used it in the Justice League.
Which I love to hear.
So seeing in this film, though, a lot of the action points, you don't know what's going on. I love that they start with the Batwing right off the bat, because the Batwing doesn't even show up till the end of the movie, but that's how you rope them
Spoiler.
in. Yeah, that's how you rope them in. And Batman murks so many people in this. He kills
So they
a lot
basically
of
just
people.
showed the end of the movie right there.
Yeah, not really though, because the end of he fails.
I
He
know.
fails at killing Jack Napier at the Prince Parade.
Uh-huh.
Doing the dance.
Yeah, trust.
The music, I think, is amazing for this because getting Oingo Boingo involved
Of
was,
course,
was
yeah.
a very smart move. And I heard that they wanted to try to get like Michael Jackson's music instead and try to get that played.
Makes
but,
sense.
But Prince seemed to fall more in line with what the director wanted.
It was
but
weird.
I was gonna say, I also heard like stories that another reason that Prince wanted to be a part of this too was because of Kim
Basinger.
Singer, and because he like thought she was really attractive and he wanted to kind of impress her, so he's like, I'll do the Batman.
Yeah.
I'll do the music
Could've
for
been.
Batman.
Baldwin snuck in instead.
Oh,
Alec. But yeah, I could see
Full
why.
circle, Tim Burton,
I also-
Michael Keaton.
I think that it was pretty ballsy at the time for Warner Brothers to take such a risk with Tim Burton.
Right.
Because, I mean, Pee-wee's Big Adventure was a huge hit for them, so they gambled with him to do this iconic thing, again, that they were working on for 10, 15 years prior. Because coming off of Superman, Warner Brothers wanted to really make money off of all their other titles.
I think it's really funny that you said how like they changed like producers and directors, and that it was taking a while for them to get the Batman off. That's what she said. With other properties that they have with Warner Brothers, it seems like they do well with those, like Harry Potter and all of that stuff, Pee-wee, as you said. But when it comes to their comic book ones, they just seem to have like a problem, minus Christopher Nolan.
Well, I mean, problems... I mean, everyone can hate or love these movies, but even when this was coming out, when Michael Keaton was cast, everyone was throwing up in arms. The comic book fans didn't want him either.
Yeah.
Same
Going
thing
on
happened
for
with
ages,
Christian
yeah.
Bale
Yeah.
and Ben Affleck. Everyone just, fans...
Heath Ledger.
I think fans for DC are more hardcore fans, and what I mean by that is not that Marvel fans aren't good. They're just not as critical. as the stories that DC comes out with.
I don't know if that's what it is. I think it's how it's been.
I'm a DC fan, and
I know you are. I know you are, but I think it's because of how it's been approached in the media that has kind of created you. You made me, I made you. Who made you first? Like that is exactly with Batman and Joker, where Joker made
like
Batman, Batman made Joker. I feel like that DC's mentality and how they approach their franchise in the beginning made those fans that expected more and then just got dropped on their head when they came out with Forever and Robin.
See, that's true too, but I also think like a lot of times it's with all comic book fans, really. I mean, they have this set already in their mind, and that's what they want to see on screen. But I mean, the movies are like all the comic books. They renew the comic books, that rebirth the comic books per se, and they change a lot of things over the years. So it's just no different from movies.
That's very true, and we've actually discussed that, how the movies are essentially like the comic books, different style, different tone, different characters. Sometimes it's a new character, and people don't tend to like that because they want it to come from the comic books. But at the same time, it's when the movie is in the theater, in the moment that you are alive, that is like the central, platform for multimedia for Batman and cinema. When you're watching this movie, it's not about what came out before. It's not about the comic books. It's about this movie right here, where the comic books, it's like, it was a much more dedicated, a much more fever of an audience that were, reading the books and it was on their own. When it becomes cinematic, you had Entertainment Tonight talking about it. You got Jay Leno bringing people. You had Carson bringing people. You had this much more general populace weighing in on the conversation. And it's the nerds, it's the fandom, it's the people that are absolutely devoted to this franchise that are rising up and are the ones that are basically the spearhead for why I'm angry. And that is honestly, like, I enjoy Batman Forever. I knew somebody online, one of our counterparts that does reactions and stuff, that thinks Batman Forever is the best of all the Batman movies to date. And I'm like, well, I guess you just approached it in a different way than the rest of us.
Because there are good points in that movie. It's fun and different.
Oh, go ahead.
No, please go.
Oh, I was going to say, I will attest to the point where I got upset that from Forever to Batman and Robin that they changed Val Kilmer to George Clooney, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you have George Clooney when Val Kilmer did a good job as the
because
Batman?
They needed bigger nipples.
Well, it's because of the backlash.
But that's like when I was a kid, I was like, why are you doing it this way?
It's a lot of the backlash or batlash that came towards Val Kilmer during Batman Forever, to where he's like, maybe not. And all of them at the studio heads reacted and said, maybe not. Like, let's get somebody else who's hot right now. George Clooney's so hot right now. So hot. I love George Clooney. And they put him in the hey, Freeze, I'm Batman. No, it's terrible. It's awful.
I'll get drive-through.
But that's just, that was Batman Forever.
Never leave the Batcave with that.
I like Batman Forever because I think it does approach the way you're talking about, where it's like a different version, but they kept Michael Gough and they kept Pat Hingle as Alfred and freaking Commissioner Gordon to kind of keep the threading going. I enjoy Batman Forever for that. They should have kept Val Kilmer because they were going in that direction and done more like a James Bond anthology situation where it's like, let's do a few movies and then change it. But the problem was that the fever, the environment got so hostile based off of everybody's approach. And Bat Nipples, it's dumb. But at the same time, we talked about like Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and like the games are more like Batman Forever and Batman and Robin than they are Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I love those games. So you can't say that those movies are trash. They are very much worthy. But at the time, Batman, this was the one where they were taking remnants of that darker comic of Batman, which we learned about later, and brought it into this.
Miller wrote, and
correct.
And that's what they were getting excited about. Either way, I don't think we would have had any of the comic book that we have comic movies today if it wasn't for this Batman movie.
Of course, it's a template. Everyone kind of holds every comic book Until now.
Everybody
up
knows
to.
who Batman is, no matter where you come from, or like if you don't know comic books or anything, you know who Batman is because of this movie, and maybe because of what Adam West did.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that can come from the Batman himself. I mean, they've even talked about, rumors about Michael Keaton playing Bruce Wayne again in Batman Beyond live action.
Give us Batman Beyond. Why not?
Yes.
Let's get in that world, too. Tim Burton, we know you ain't doing much right now. Come on, bro. Come
there's
back.
like 4 Disney
Come
movies
back.
I'm sure he's going to do soon.
No, I think
Yeah,
they're
he's
pretty
doing
much
Dumbo.
letting go of him. Yeah, that's okay. See, I forgot about Dumbo.
Either way, what did you guys think of Batman? Is it a movie you guys love? Is it something that you hold up to your comic book movies?
This was a good conversation. I mean,
We have a lot to talk about. This was just the surface. I know we're probably going to turn this camera off and keep going.
But we're happy that you guys were able to join us in this conversation about the original Batman
Yes.
and how it does kind of reflect into what came next. And you know what? We are so far removed from 89. It's been such a long time. But either way.
Thank you, Trinidad Botello, for bringing this to our attention. I enjoyed it. And
Yeah, it's
again, users...
almost 30 years.
And thank you, Travis, for choosing the full trailer and not just a little snippet teaser like the Superman one. He's saving that for later. But either way, thank you guys for watching this episode of Better Late Than Never. You could like, you could subscribe.
You could do the thing on our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Stardust.
All the social networking gin joints, you know where they are. Kick into the party, feel the party, keep the party going at our Patreon. Gets us where we need to go. Gets you these episodes a few days earlier. And you know what? Yeah, we know we want to put a little bit more into that Patreon. We're figuring things out. But thank you, Travis, for joining us and bringing this to us as well.
Well, I'd like to say something about those Patreons. If you guys have an idea for a theme, if you guys enjoyed the theme of the remakes, you Patreons let us know if you have any theme ideas, and maybe we'll do it.
Yeah, definitely. Kick into the party with your knowledge. A lot of you are, so thank you for that. And as always, guys, now it's time to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And this party's over.